Street Fighter and hip hop, strange bedfellows, or peanut butter and jelly. Despite the first two games of the series not featuring any music that really represents the genre at all, the connection between Street Fighter and hip hop is as close as a tech throw. The artists who have referenced and even sampled Street Fighter reads like a list of who's who in the world of rap music. And today we're going to take a look at this phenomenon. Hip hop's influence on Street Fighter is more obvious than ever in 2024. The latest game in the series, Street Fighter 6, released in 2023, is a visual style oozing with urban flair in the main menus, with graffiti-tagged backgrounds along with a hip-hop charged soundtrack featuring lyrics of struggle, sacrifice, and even haters. In an interview with Spin, Street Fighter 6 producer Shuhei Matsumoto and lead composer Toshiya Terayama elaborated. Terayama said, "The music of Street Fighter 6 is heavily influenced by hip-hop culture. It respects and blends the melodious game music that has been passed down through the series with the various musical elements derived from hip-hop culture." Matsumoto would continue, "A couple good examples of how Street Fighter has shown its hip-hop influences are the graffiti in the intro cinematic in the original Street Fighter, as well as the hip-hop sounds of Street Fighter 3. After all, Street is in the title. Graffiti, dance, rap, and DJ sounds. I want to include all four of these major elements firmly in Street Fighter 6. The influence wasn't always this obvious though. The first Street Fighter game that featured any kind of direct reference to hip-hop was Street Fighter 2: The New Challengers, which was the third version of Street Fighter 2 when it was released in 1993. The Jamaican kickboxer DJ debuted here along with the first tangible connections of Street Fighter in the hip-hop genre. His name is an obvious play on words, as DJ is also the short name for a disc jockey, along with him being a fighting musician. But the connection of the music genre in question was extremely loose. A year later in 1994, Street Fighter and hip-hop made their first real connection with, of all things, the Street Fighter live-action movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The much-maligned film's soundtrack was produced by Priority Records, known mostly for publishing hip-hop albums along with their associates, Death Row Records, Rockefeller Records, and No Limit Records. Snoop Dogg, Master P, Jay-Z, Ice Cube, and NWA all released albums under Priority. Former president of Priority Records, Andrew Shack, said in an interview with Vice that Priority landed the Street Fighter OST deal purely through wanting to get into film soundtracks. What had happened was that I decided we needed to get into the film business, and we were developing the movie Friday, and we didn't know what we were doing. We were just getting out there and thinking, how are we going to get into the film business? People are kind of doing soundtracks, and we need to find one to do, said Shaq. Despite what seems to be a hastily put together deal, the Street Fighter OST is stacked with some of the 90s biggest rap artists. Ice Cube, Nas, LL Cool J, The Pharcyde, MC Hammer, and Deion Sanders? Yeah, Primetime himself was able to get in on this album. Half a decade later, Street Fighter and hip-hop's love affair was finally canonized with the release of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Fight for the Future in arcades and on the Sega Dreamcast. Hideki Okugawa composed the entire Street Fighter 3 series, but with the third entry swayed heavily into hip-hop beats for the soundtrack, even sampling the famous Amen Break drum solo from the Winstons, which has been sampled in hip-hop too many times to count. Okugawa would also sample Eric B. and Rakim's song Let It Hit 'Em, and even Steve Miller's Take the Money and Run. In addition, Okugawa would sample Think About It by Len Collins, another heavily sampled track used in hip-hop. During this time, Capcom was holding auditions in Toronto, Canada in search of an actual rap artist to contribute to the game's soundtrack. Infinite was the one who would eventually get the call, and was informed he had exactly 1 day to write 3 songs, as they would be recording in a studio session the very next day.
The crazy thing, they told me on a Sunday that you have studio tomorrow. Like, we're gonna go to studio, we want you to record 3 songs.
Yeah.
That wasn't even written yet. So I'm like,
yeah,
how am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
It's either I just say, oh, I can't do it, I don't have 3 songs.
Yeah.
Opportunity gone. Or I start writing these 3 songs right now.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, yeah, we'll be there. Mm-hmm. And I wrote 3 songs. I never did that before. 3 songs in less than 24 hours, son.
The 3 tracks Infinite would drop for the game would be the main theme, used during the attract mode for the arcade version, the character select theme, and the credits theme. The first 2 of these songs were re-edited for their use in the game, but both were full-fledged hip-hop songs as well as being absolute bangers. The full character select theme also had a section taken from it to be used as the continue screen after losing a match. Infinite would actually pull double duty on the game as he was also the voice of the in-game announcer, with iconic lines such as,
"Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare to strike. Now!"
Yeah, that makes sense.
In the years before in Synth Third Strike, numerous hip-hop artists have referenced and even sampled songs, sound effects, and voice clips from Street Fighter. These include Lil Wayne, Megan Thee Stallion, Gucci Mane, Doja Cat, Kanye West, and perhaps most notably Nicki Minaj, who went so far as to name a track off her album Queen after Chun-Li, one of the main characters of Street Fighter. Minaj would even copy the iconic Interpol agent's look for the music video. The track would be released as a single, with the cover art being recreated for the Street Fighter Udon comic book series as a special cover, with the eponymous Super Cop being swapped out for Minaj. With the release of Super Street Fighter 4, Capcom would commission Just Blaze to produce a song for the game's TV commercials. And finally, Chicago-based rapper Lupe Fiasco has become known for referencing Street Fighter across many of his songs, and would even beat professional Street Fighter player Daigo in Street Fighter V. However, there are numerous rumors saying that Daigo threw the fight for marketing purposes.
Hang on! It's gonna happen! Lupe, oh my, he's activated it. Will he throw some lightning at him? Don't be. Oh, my! He tried the uppercut! He tried the uppercut! It didn't come out. I don't think any gentleman knows what happened. History has been made here in San Francisco.
Daigo's like, wait, Daigo's like, no, wait, I thought it was to 5. That's 3, you win, Lupe.
Daigo needs to get on that return ticket.
You're the best,
A
Lupe.
return ticket back to Nippon. The Gaijin had.
The Street Fighter franchise has been going strong for over 35 years, while hip-hop has been in lockstep with the series since its inception, despite the relationship not always being at the forefront. And if the latest game in the franchise is any indication, that relationship will continue far into the future. This is Red Comma 13, and I'll see you next time.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.